Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
The business owner who was killed by two men claiming to be DTE workers in Rochester Hills has been identified. Police confirming today that 72-year-old Hussein Murray was murdered inside his home Friday. Murray's wife was later found by police tied up with duct tape.
The woman told deputies that two men had first come to the home Thursday night and said there was some sort of a gas leak. They were turned away, but they returned a day later and were allowed into the home. Jacqueline Francis spoke to Oakland County Sheriff Michael Bouchard. And Jacqueline, I know just seconds ago we learned one of the suspects is actually in custody. What can you tell us?
That's right. The sheriff just updating us all with a breaking update, as he put it, saying that one of the two suspects seen in that doorbell video is in custody. Not only are they in custody, they were found in Louisiana, Shreveport, Louisiana. So between yesterday afternoon, when this gruesome murder took place, and just now when we got the update, we're learning that one of the suspects in this case did make their way to Shreveport. Now, we do also want to show you where we are right now on the scene. We're outside of Gold and Glitter. That is the pawn shop that the victim, Hussein Murray, owned. Now, you can see on the door, it says, "Sorry, due to a family emergency, we are closed until further notice." Then next to that, within just 30 minutes, someone came and posted this sign to the door saying, "God bless you, Sam, a true gentleman, you will be missed." We're told that the victim, Hussein, did go by the nickname Sam. So that's just an example of the kind of shock and sadness that has been going through the community since that news broke. And again, looking at that doorbell video, it shows those two men going to the door yesterday afternoon. They broke inside of they were welcomed inside of the home because they were imposter DTE employees. Once inside the home, police say they murdered Hussein and they tied up his wife. We talked with the sheriff earlier and I asked him, could there be a connection between owning this pawn and jewelry shop and this, what they're calling a targeted murder? Here's what he had to say.
We still believe it was targeted, in fact. Whether it was specifically related to them owning a business, jewelry and pawn business, that would be kind of our intuition on this topic, but we don't know that for a fact yet, obviously, until we capture the folks and if and when they talk about their motive. But I'm confident we're going to run these folks down, and that would be my message. Look, turn yourself in. Either way, we're going to find you, make it easier on everybody.
Well, you heard the sheriff just there saying, we're going to find you. We do know one of those two suspects is in custody. They are working with the prosecutor's office because that person was found in Shreveport, Louisiana. The search is still continuing for that other suspect seen in the doorbell video. As for the victim's wife, who was tied up with duct tape, I'm told that she is out of the hospital and that she will be physically okay. But understandably, this was a very traumatic situation. And so there's a lot to still uncover and unfold in this entire case. So we'll be sure to keep you updated. Reporting live in Hamtramck, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
All right. Thank you, Jacqueline.
The Oakland County Sheriff's Office is also warning about the possible reemergence of a transnational gang that targets high-end homes. Authorities released this video from a home in Oakland Township last night. You can see two masked individuals enter the home from what appears to be a back patio space. Police suspect the group of criminals has robbed over 45 homes since the spree started earlier this year. Police say if you see anything suspicious, don't hesitate to give them a call.
We are working to learn more from police about an incident today in Centerline. Take a look. Dozens of police cars had the State Park Drive taped off near Lando Street. Evidence markers were also seen lining that street. We spoke with several witnesses in the neighborhood. They believe police got into some kind of a gunfight during a traffic stop.
And I see one cop car pull up first, and literally, I'm just looking out. I'm like, what's going on outside? He does a U-turn around the corner, and I see him get out, and he literally just pulls his gun out. A guy comes out the front door of the house on the corner with a whole full-size AR, gets in a car, and all of a sudden I hear gunshots. Right away, I grab my daughter. I grab my firearm. I'm a CPL holder myself. I went downstairs, and I was shaking. I was scared.
We've placed several calls out to police to learn more about this incident. We hope to have an update for you tonight on Local 4 News at 11. Well,
they were on. awesome. They really stepped up, and at the end they got Detroit rocking, man.
My whole family enjoyed this. We went from nothing to this. They've done us a great favor. The whole city has enjoyed this.
As great as it was, the Tigers season came to a disappointing close today. After a historic run to end the year, the team, they ran out of steam, falling in the Game 5 of the ADLS to the Guardians today.
While it's not the outcome fans want it, there's still reason to be excited about where the team goes from here. Hobie is live in Cleveland. Hi, Hobie.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Yes, I think it's a balance of everything right now for players in that clubhouse. It's the success that they had in the last 2 months of the season, the sting that they had watching another team win, but also the shock of not winning this game because we got so used to this team winning in clutch games. This game was win or go home, and they delivered at the beginning. Kerry Carpenter, he came in to pinch hit. He got an RBI, and the Tigers went up 1-0 early, but then Tarek Skubal, who had been great all season long, kind of met his kryptonite with the Guardians in the 5th inning. They tagged him for 5 runs. He hit a batter that walked in a run, and then he gave up a grand slam, and that really changed the entire dynamic of this game. The Tigers didn't give up, though. They scored a run in the 6th, another one in the 7th, but the Guardians continued to add insurance as this game went on, as they do win 7-3 as the Tigers season comes to an end here at Progressive Field. And it's a team that is proud of what they were able to accomplish, but they're also left thinking what they could have continued to accomplish had they focused in a little bit more on some of the details in Game 4 that they led back in Detroit, and also here in Game 5 with some missed opportunities.
Super awesome, like I said, to play until October, and it's just experience. Experience is, in my opinion, everything. So, I don't want to talk about next year yet, but when that time comes around, we're going to know what to expect and we're going to be ready.
The magic that we had in this clubhouse and the belief we had in one another, it was so special, and I'm so lucky to be a part of it.
This is only going to make me strive to become a better version of myself. And the days in the off season that get a little grueling and you don't want to work out, or you don't want to do that, or you don't want to do some recovery work, or just the little things, I'll just make sure to remind myself of this feeling I have right now.
And Skubal right there, this performance doesn't take away from just the great season that he had overall. 18 wins in the regular season, guys. That led the American League. And speaking of 18, that's how many runners the Tigers left on base between Game 4 and Game 5 combined. They had their chances, just couldn't show up in some more crucial moments for this team. But you can still tell that it is a young team. It's the youngest roster in Major League Baseball. They'll be ready to go when spring training starts back up in just a few months.
We'll be waiting on them then. Thank you, Hobie.
Turning now to a new settlement reached between the Republican National Committee and the city of Detroit. Both sides moving to resolve a lawsuit about poll watchers for the November election. The lawsuit alleged that during the 2024 primaries, there were some voting precincts in Detroit with massively lopsided number of poll watchers favoring Democrats. The RNC said in a statement that as part of the settlement, Detroit election officials will hire at least one GOP poll watcher at each voting location and will strive to have partisan parity for poll watchers.
Turning now to the south, where residents in the Sunshine State are cleaning up from another hurricane as recovery efforts begin from Milton.
More than 1 million Floridians remain without power as crews work to clear debris from roads and power lines. Flooding prompted several rescues, especially along Tampa's Hillsborough River that sustained over 16 inches of rain.
Another major issue right now is fuel. Gasoline is also hard to find in the Tampa Bay area, with more than 75% of gas stations without fuel, according to gas price tracking platform Gas Buddy. It's a tough spot to be in for someone that is relying on gas to power their home right now.
Drove around for 30 miles. I went all the way to Dade City, if you know the Flying J truck stop, and everything is closed. No gas around. I can drive because I have a diesel car, so I can go, but it's going to be stressful if I'll have to drive all the way to Ocala or Gainesville to get gas for my generator.
The state also says it's now setting up public fuel sites to help ease the burden on commercial gas stations. Also expected to help, a newly issued major declaration for Florida that makes millions in federal funding available for people impacted in those hard-hit communities. Coming up, we show you a group of determined young leaders coming together to confront a growing threat. But first, here's Ron.
Well, Pamela and Will, we're tracking some showers, even a few thunderstorms racing across the state, making their way into southeast Michigan right now. We're going to talk about where these showers are, where we can expect them over the next few hours. That's coming up after the break.
Before we go to break, join us Tuesday right here on Local 4 Plus for a conversation on moving Michigan forward. The presidents of Wayne State, Michigan State, and the University of Michigan are getting together at the Detroit Economic Club. You'll hear about their joint efforts to research artificial intelligence, manufacturing, and more. You can watch it streaming live Tuesday afternoon at 12:30.